What is going on, everybody? This is Oz, the Crypto Goat, and welcome to the Ledger Lounge. How's everybody doing today? Some craziness happening in the markets. We're turning a new candle for the day, and it is already started off green for today's candle. This is amazing. This is what we've all been waiting for. I think this could possibly be the breakout. We may be finally breaking out of the downward trend we've been stuck in. Is this the breakout? It's not 100% sure, but it's a heavy indication that we may be breaking out. Now, we need to watch it closely over the next week or so, and we will find out if that happens. I've been on the downward kick for a long time. You know, I got the spooky ghost here with the boo. I haven't taken away the ghost yet because there is still uncertainty. But once the uncertainty is gone, then I will remove the ghost and maybe we'll put a goat up there or something else. And but as for right now, it's still a maybe. Music's loud. All right, let me get the music here. How's that for the music? A little better? Yeah, the music is loud in my headphones too. Better for the music? Yeah, sorry about that. My apologies. We do have the new studio, so we are kind of changing things around a little bit, and the audio's a little fluctuant right now. But it will get better. It will get better. The show is going to get better. And we are starting a new show on YouTube where I will be doing investigative journalism. We will be going out on the streets and interviewing people, asking them about crypto, what they know about it, projects they're into, if they've even heard about it, turning them on to new projects and getting them involved in the market to spread the word, because things are happening. And not only that, we're going to be talking about the sentiment in what is going on with the economy and the global economic impact of all these technological changes and so much more. And also, it's not 100% sure yet. Not 100% sure if this is happening yet, but I may be speaking at the Twitch convention in San Diego. So, and for those of you who are on TikTok, don't forget we are on Twitch as well. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lowercases, no spaces. If you want me to look at a certain project for you, you can check us out on Twitch, and I will look at those for you for free. All you got to do is come over to Twitch and put it in the chat, or you can become a subscriber on TikTok, and I would be more than happy to help you with that. But fingers crossed, I will be speaking at the Twitch convention. Twitch is growing and evolving, and they are looking for new talent, and that's what we are. And one thing to also understand is that Twitch doesn't have much of a selection for people who are into crypto, yet everyone is all about it right now. It's the biggest craze. So the community is growing on Twitch, and I'm super excited for that. And I'm really hopeful. If I don't speak, I'm probably still going to be attending as a special guest or something, but I'm hoping to at least speak and tell people what's going on and wake some people up. But this is big news for me, so I'm super excited about that. Also, we want to give a special shout out to Sweetwater. Sweetwater, thank you for all the equipment you've sent here. Much appreciated, and it's helped alleviate a lot of the stress with building the studio. So a little special for Sweetwater. Sweetwater is a company that supplies musical and audio equipment, things like that. And so they have helped us out greatly. So thank you to Sweetwater. And thank you, Sweetwater, for the candy. How's everybody doing today? Guinea Marie says, what is happening? What is happening? Is that about how am I doing, or is that about the markets taking off? You fell asleep mid-show, I know. That's all right. We're gonna get into the markets, but I would say that we are definitely gonna see a pullback. But as for right now, it's not 100%. Music is loud. All right, hold on. Is that better for the music? Is it still loud? Has the music volume dropped at all? I can't tell. Because it's blaring through my headphones. Still loud. Okay, let's do it that way. Is that better for the audio? Mind you, we are changing a few things here. Let's turn it back up here. How about that now? Better? My apologies. And then let's turn the music up for Twitch as well. Now it's louder. Okay. Is it too loud? How's the audio? We are still fixing some things with the audio equipment. It's still loud. What's going on here? Let me turn down TikTok. I'm still learning how to use their audio settings. It's not as easy to use as TikTok or as Twitch is. Well, the double top I called on Ethereum was a winner. Good for you. I do think Ethereum's got more pump left in it. Luke, lady I follow that channels angels, sent out a mid-month message. Preparedness. One of the things she keeps saying is invest in XRP. I think in investing in XRP, I wouldn't, take a person who channels angels. However, we use a more scientific method here, and mathematical method through charting. And I would say, yes, we're bullish. However, we are due for a pullback. And as you know, X marks the spot, right? So I have a feeling we could pump as high as 260, even 270, probably more like 265. And then by, I'd say, May 21st, because we've continued to pump and stay above here, we would have a pullback to about 230, which is right on the X. And that would be your entry point. If you believe that it's going to hold above here, which I do believe, I think this line right here is no longer in play. And I think what we've done now is we've moved out of this descending channel here that we've had for months. It's been like 180 days. Yes, I would say the entry point is about 230. It could be a little higher, 231, 232, maybe even 235-ish. And it could possibly be even as low as 220. So we haven't quite gotten enough data to get a more accurate number on that. But there will be a pullback. There will be a second. Every time we get a big pump like this, we have a pullback and we retest resistance. Now we could get to that retest zone and fall below it. And we could come all the way down to 205, 210, 215, and then trail back up. It could be a bit of a bear trap, that happens, but I do think that it's possible that we are now in this ascending trend like this, but with an ascending channel, okay? An ascending channel like this comes a fall. And that fall would bring us down to $1.95, $2. But that's not just yet. I think we have room for another push after that, so we could get in at 230 and pump up probably to 280, and we would probably fall from there. I don't think it's going to go higher than 280 like I told you, but there is a potential that it forms a flag or something right here and breaks out of this trend, and we go up to $3 and flag from there and see all-time highs. That is very possible. Do you think we'll ever see under $2 again? It's definitely possible, and I think once the bull run is over, we will probably see $1, maybe 75 cents. But I think the days of buying it for 20 cents are over for sure, and it could possibly be the days of under $1 are over. XRP long now or hold? I would say we probably got another big pump up, or not a big pump, but we got at least a little bit more, or we're done, and we're gonna come back down to retest 230. With everything Trump is doing, no way you're gonna see these numbers anymore. What do you mean, these numbers? I don't know if we're going to hold up above these numbers because we haven't felt the impact of the tariffs yet. Even if the tariffs are over, music is loud. What am I doing? You know what? I'm 86ing the music. Music's done. It hits 270, 280. I'm selling most of my bag. Good for you. I wouldn't say most of it. I'd hold some, because there is a potential to hit, you know, $7, $8. I would think 5's probably more the conservative number. Filled what we need to fill up, only up from here. I wouldn't say it's only up from here. We are definitely due for a price correction. And so I would, and it's normal market movement to come back down to the X right here and then push back up. However, this is also this channel right here, this ascending channel. Look it up. Okay. Look up ascending channel pattern. Usually it'll drop into an ascending channel like it did. It dropped down into it. It'll move up it, and then it'll fall out of it. And that could bring it all the way back down to 170 to 160 just for that pattern, and it could continue to fall from there. Look up Wyckoff chart patterns. I don't do Wyckoff. I mean, I understand it, and I do get all that. I do a different style trading strategy. So the way I trade is it's in the IPS phase. I get what you're saying, and it could be a kangaroo jump from here. I don't know if you guys know about the kangaroo pattern. It could be a kangaroo jump up to, you know, $7, $8. But yes, bad news can affect everything, and it could blow through support at 230. However, I think $2 is a strong support zone. It would be pretty hard to break that. It would take bad news to bring it down to there, and then more bad news to break through. I'll keep a small moon bag just in case. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to shy people away from the market. You know, I want to be, when I feel like it's bullish, I'm going to be bullish. And I told you guys last week that we would pump till Monday. And we did. That's when we hit our highest peak, was Monday at 266. I said about 260-ish. So we pumped over what I said we would hit. So I will always admit when I was wrong, but we can't catch every wick all the way to the tip. But if you set an order at 260 and you bought in down here, you did all right. And if you bought in at 163, you are sitting pretty right now. But remember, take profits. Take profits. And the idea is to put your money in, invest it, and as it goes up, take those profits out. And once you have the amount of money you originally started with, you can either reinvest it into the market or keep your money and use the house's money to do it from then on out. And then you haven't lost anything, you know, and you can always reinvest at lower positions with more. Dizzle, thank you for the rose. Skeptic Leo with the 6 roses, and J Infinity with the let him cook. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. And so I always keep a moon bag. I got a little bit, you know, that I don't care what happens to it. It's for if it goes crazy. I bought it at, you know, 10 and 20 cents years ago, and I've had it and I've been accumulating into it. And it's what I put when I buy those base prices, wherever the bottom is, and it's just flatlining between cycles. That's where I put that money into that moon bag. And then when it shoots up, I take my profits and I take 50% of that and I remove it from the market. Okay. 50% of that I remove from the market and I wait for lower zones for entry. And when those lower zones come, I buy them up. Don't always catch them because we are a little conservative. We don't always catch the bottom, but we did all right here at 163. I said about 160-ish. It didn't quite hit 160. It hit 161. However, I always say, you know, add 3 cents. Add 3 to 5 cents and you'll make sure you hit every time. All right, let's see here. Let me clean up this chart a little bit and let's talk about where we are in the market and what is going on. This ascending channel, okay, does not mean we are going to moon. It means that we have now broken out of this massive bearish trend and we could move up to new numbers, but it indicates that we will not see all-time highs. It's a heavy indication. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 moves in this one. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? So we probably got a little bit left. And that would be a pullback to 230. Entry, pump up to 280, exit, and then possibly fall from there. And that would bring us down to, I'd say it could be $2 is the minimum. We tariffs to come back to the US to go that low. Well, let me tell you what right now, no tariffs have left. No tariffs have left. Every tariff, there is 0 deals been signed. I believe the only deal that's been signed is with Israel, and I'm not 100% sure on whether that is set in stone. That is the only deal that I know of that is pretty much done. So there is no deal with China. There is no deal with the UK. There's no deal. Deal or no deal. And right now, there is no deal. Okay. Everything is a 90-day pause for China and a 90-day pause for UK. Didn't the US make a deal with the UK? No, there is no deal with the UK. I have to pay my tariff on my product from China. He's right. No deal. Yes, tariffs are still in play. They've just been slightly reduced for 90 days for renegotiation. It's just a pause, and it's not even a pause. 10% tariffs still remain in effect, even with the pause. There is no deal with the UK. Nothing has been signed. Abi, I'm telling you right now, look it up, dig into it. Don't just read the headlines. Nothing has been signed. Nothing's been signed with China. Abby, go look it up. It's a 90-day pause. You've been lied to. And that's why we have a show here, because I'm not here to lie to you. I'm here to tell you the truth. And we're going to go over the news, and I'm going to cover some articles and show you firsthand that you have been lied to. So stick around. Don't go anywhere, because I am going to show you firsthand that, bro, you voted for Kamala? No, I did not vote for Kamala. I did not vote for Kamala. You know what? Just to set the record straight, just because I'm tired of it, because it's annoying to me. Everyone thinks that I'm this and that, whatever politically. And I will tell you right now, I did vote for Trump. Okay? But I will call out anyone, any politician, any person, any deal, any fake news, any nonsense. I do not deal with it. And I actually have examples of fake news that you can read how the media manipulates things. Okay? I will show you how the media manipulates things on both sides. Okay? There's a cult following on the right, and there's a cult following on the left. And I'm not here to do that. I am here to break echo chambers, and I'm here to educate you so that way you are not lied to and fooled. I'm here to give you the truth. Unbiased, milquetoast, middle line truth. I have no opinion. Okay? I have no opinion. All I have are the facts. That's what I do here. I'm here to give you the facts. And that's why I haven't told anybody who I voted for, because I don't want to take a political side, because that's not what the show is about. It's about fact checking. Stop yapping. What's your price on Solana? All right. That's a bit disrespectful. So even if you do subscribe, I'm not going to do Solana for you. Okay. And actually, you're gone. Disrespect me and you're gone. Okay. I'm not here to deal with that nonsense. Okay. This is my show. I'm going to do things the way I want to do it. So, if you feel like I'm being rude, I'm sorry, but I deal with so many violations because I'm here telling the truth. People are nonsense. I have to remove, as soon as they're a problem, I have to remove them immediately, because I literally deal with 9+ appeals every live on TikTok. It's none of your business anyway. It's his right to keep it private. It doesn't matter. I'll tell you what I did, okay? But I'll also tell you, I'm not here to take a political stance. I'm here to give you facts. Dizzle says Abby was rude. Yeah, I know. And those types of people, unfortunately, because of what we've been going through, I do not have any room for it. So please be respectful. You are welcome to a different opinion. You are welcome to all types of, different backgrounds, and I don't care if you're pink, blue, or up or down or left or right. I do not care. Okay. The idea is to be respectful, but I cannot advocate for any more insolence of this show because it is too much. I saw that sweep at the lows, and once we made that V shape, I put a little more in. You talking about down here? This right here? If you've been watching the show for a while, I've been calling since middle of January. I told everyone we would probably drop to about 160, 163, and that would be the lowest before the turn upward. And those of you who were watching the show were able to set those price points, set in those limit orders, and snipe that thing within cents. The wick, baby. We wicked that thing months and months ago. So this is beautiful. This is a good thing. And when we get a big pump up like this, we're due for a 50% price correction. That's right there, 162. It's just normal. It's math. It's not that hard. What's up, Saketh? I feel like that short is biting you in the ass now. All right, let's see here. Let's cover some news. So today we got some special news to cover. And as you know, we have a research and journalism team here. And let me tell you, I have realized just how valuable it is because I was doing all the news research on my own. And it became too much work. So because of it, I decided to back off a little bit and get some help. And because of that, I have realized this, and not just recently, but over time, we are in a bifurcation of this country and in the media. And there are two separate sides of the media. And so I feel like it's very important for me to have both sides reporting that information to us so that I can go through it with a fine-tooth comb and we can sift out and find out where the lies are, where the misinformation is at, and which side it's coming from. Because it comes from both sides, but in every article, something is different. But let me tell you, I have noticed from the left, they want to lie to you the most because they want to make the orange man look bad. All right. That's their main goal. Orange man bad. Okay. And I'm not here to play those games. I'm here to give you the facts and you decide for yourself. That's really all we're here to do, is see the facts. Buy gold card and hold. You'll remember this for real. Have a great day. All right. I'm good on it. But let me tell you, the news has been a tricky challenge to maneuver through. It's been very difficult, and I try to have a non-biased opinion in the middle. However, I have right-leaning people and I have left-leaning people that work in the team for the news. And because of that, it's for a purpose. Because of these echo chambers that are created in the media, if you are on the right, you're not going to see the information that the left is receiving. And if you're on the left, you're not going to receive the information that the right is receiving. So being here, you're going to hear both sides. You're going to get a more in-depth, detailed, so that you can make that decision for your own and you're not controlled by social media in this way. That's the main thing to take from this. Because we're doing that, I'm going to jump into this story first. I was saving it, but we're going to... Let me see here. Where is it at? So, inflation eased after Trump's Liberation Day tariffs defied fears. Consumer prices rose 2.3% in April compared to a year ago, cooling slightly from the previous month and defying fears of an inflation surge in an aftermath of President Donald Trump's Liberation Day tariffs last month. The reading, which marked the lowest inflation rate since 2021, matched economists' expectations. Egg prices fell 10% in April compared to the previous month, offering some relief for shoppers, data showed. Still, egg prices stand much higher than they did a year ago. By contrast, gasoline prices dropped 12% over the past year. The nationwide average price of gasoline is $3.15, data shows. Trump tariff escalation announced April 2nd set off concern among economists and consumers about a possible burst of inflation, since importers typically pass along a share of such taxes in the form of price hikes. All right. Now, we'll come back and read about this. But let's also look at this article. Inflation rose in April, revisiting March decline. Inflation picked up speed in April after declining in March, according to data released Tuesday by the Labor Department. The Consumer Price Index, CPI, rose 2% last month and is up 2.3% over the past year, according to the Labor Department. The annual inflation rate, the annual inflation rate without volatile food or energy prices was 2.8%. Okay? And it says prices fell 0.1% in March through the annual inflation rate was slightly higher at 2.4%. And this is how they lie to you. This is how they're able to put a headline that says inflation rose, but they're lying. Did anyone catch the lie? Did anyone see the lie in that? The reason why this data is not correct, this data is a lie, and what they've done is they used a tactic that the media uses. They remove certain things in order to make it fit their narrative. You can find a narrative to fit anything that you believe on the internet. But the fact goes to show that the truth can be sought out because of this right here. The price index rose 0.2% last month, up from 2.3%. Okay? That's their data, right? But what did they do here? They removed annual inflation rate of volatile food and energy prices. Food and energy prices were removed. Okay? They had to remove that in order to get the numbers that they wanted. They had to remove data. Okay? That's the only reason why it shows that it's down in their report. Because they're lying to you. Inflation is actually down. People spend about 90% of their incomes on food and energy. Anything could be considered energy. Gasoline. Right? Food. Inflation on food has been a big deal. Inflation on food not being counted is going to make it sound like it's up. Inflation on gas, which is energy. Energy drinks. Yeah. They lie to you. They lie to you. They remove things and they list it here right at the end. But they count on the fact that you're just going to read this. They count that that's all you're going to read. Inflation rose in April, rising March decline. But that's a problem for us because we are in the market, okay? And we are here to make trades, right? And we can't make educated trades without having the right information. So if you read this, you're going to believe that inflation is up and the Fed is not going to lower rates. But if you read this, you're going to read that inflation is actually down and the Fed is most likely going to lower rates. Now, they haven't done it yet. Okay. And we knew that they weren't going to because of the uncertainty with the tariffs. And there is still that uncertainty. Nothing has been signed. However, inflation is getting better. So that being countered in, I think we should see some kind of a rate drop this year. When? I don't know. I don't think it'll happen in July because I also am a little conservative on just saying that everything's going to be okay. We don't know that everything's going to be okay just yet. Because I will tell you why. The goods that China paid tariffs on that came to the US just hit the docks last week. Those goods are not on shelves yet. They're still sitting in warehouses. They're on trucks. They're on trains moving across the country. They have not reached the shelves yet. Okay. Jeremy, thank you for the corn. When the price correction, I sold at $250 yesterday and took profits. Good for you. Always take profits. I think we'll get a price correction to $230 and we'll go over that in a little bit. So stick around. That I'll give you a time frame of when that's going to happen. But the thing to take from this is that they lie to you. All right. The media wants to lie to you and they have created bifurcation. And because I'm up here telling the truth, we literally have people hating on me because I'm critical. I'm analytical. I want to have the truth. So I'm not just going to take face value on something just because Trump says it or just because whoever says it. Okay, I'm going to dig into it and I'm going to find the truth and we're going to figure out what to do because that affects me financially. As you all know, I'm retired. I'm 36 years old and I day trade for my income. I make about $1 a live from TikTok and I make nothing from Twitch. All right. I don't make money off of going live. I do this for you. I do this because there is a vacuum in not only social media, but in the news and media in general, where there is no factual information coming in. People are being fed nonsense. So I'm here to break that. What's the next high for XRP? We may have hit that high, but we could see 280 if it does go higher, but I think we're due for a pullback. The reason I do this show is for the sole reason of, one, I love doing this. I was an audio video engineer, so being retired, I get to work with the equipment that I used to use and do the things that I used to do, but I get to do them from home now, and I get to have fun and hang out with you guys, and it's also therapy for me. I need something to do with my time. And I've decided to invest my time, my most valuable resource, into you for entertainment. Because I'm also an entertainer. I was in a band. I was a DJ. I did all kinds of different things. So I'm creating this for you, for the people, because I believe that the people need the truth. Play some Creed. I cannot play Creed because we do post these videos to YouTube and we don't want to take away our monetization. But I'm down with Creed. Definitely. Hold me now. I'm not going to sing. I'm not a singer. I'm a drummer. That's for sure. All right. Let's see here. We'll come back to this because I wasn't quite ready for this, but because of what happened, I thought it was important to talk about that and let you guys know that I'm not here to have a side that I sit on. I'm not here to take sides. I'm here to give you the facts from both sides, and you decide where your allegiances lie and where the truth is, so that way you can make informed decisions in the market, because that is what influences the market, is what is happening in the world and what the news is saying. And that's why I now factor in moon cheese, because I used to not factor it in, and now moon cheese is the cheese that they put in the trap to catch people to use them for exit liquidity. Okay. And they feed people, spoon feed them moon cheese. Can XRP reach $10? I think it's possible, but not this year. I think this year probably more like $5 to $8. I think $7 is a little more conservative. That's if things go the way everyone's saying they're going to go, this super cycle thing. I don't see it. I think the liquidity is more spread out than it's ever been. There's more projects to invest into, and people are trying to get ahead of the curve. So why would you invest into Bitcoin when you could get into altcoins early? Or why would you invest into altcoins if you can get into meme coins early? That's why everything pumped in unison. I'm calling this the unicycle. Okay, I coined that phrase. That's my phrase. I've said it. You heard it here first. The unicycle. Everything is pumping together in unison. Will there be a drop in Bitcoin dominance that sends off an altcoin rally, and then vice versa for meme coins? Yes. And that's because people still think we're in the previous cycle. But what will happen is we will not see those massive gains we've seen in the past, because the liquidity is more spread out and people will be holding for too long and they will miss out on the money. And those of you who are educated, who are listening to the show and hearing this, you're going to be able to make sure that you're taking profits along the way up, because the money isn't real unless you make it real. It's just numbers on a screen. What's up, TikTok treasure? How you doing, fam? Glad to have you. All right. So we have a new candle for today. And last night I posted that we were forming a red hammer. However, we broke that today. And like I told you, I was like, it has not formed yet. The candle has not closed. And that's part of why I do the show at 5 o'clock, because it's the start of the new day candle. And so we get a chance to see what the day closed out at and where we are potentially heading from there. Now, it looks, I wouldn't call this a green hammer. It's not quite a hammer. But it's kind of a hammer candle, which would indicate that there is a possibility for a move upward again to 270. I would expect that we would see a red candle first before we see another green candle up to 270. And that would probably put it around 250-ish, 255 would be that entry point if you're expecting to catch it one more time up, or this was the top. 265 was the top, and now it's working its way back down over here to this little triangle mark that is formed right here. But I think everyone is rallying together, and everyone is hot on crypto right now in the markets because of what's going on. So the moon cheese factor tells me that we could likely touch up here again before we come back down, or we like double top up here at 265 before we price correct. But we are due for a price correction. X marks the spot, triangles the sweet spot. 229, 230. That's where I believe we're headed. If we can hold that and bounce up again and stay up this line, okay, trend up this way and not consolidate sideways and not fall down below here, we're good. I would say that's confirmation that we are still in a bull run, still in a bull cycle, and we are going to potentially see another move upward. However, this is a bearish pattern. This ascending channel is a bearish pattern. And I would say it's probably got one, maybe two more moves up before it breaks down. Or this could be it. This could be the ascending channel. And then boom, we hit here and we just blow through the bottom and we just see new low numbers. There's not enough data yet. There's not enough data, and we will see what happens as it forms. So hold on to your seats, hold on to your bags. It's nothing's certain yet. And I guess nothing is certain in the markets. Until you see the ghost guy go away, expect that I still see a bearish sentiment. Okay? When you see a moon right here, baby, you will know that we are going crazy. All right? But this is a bearish pattern, downward trend. We broke out of it, but this is also a bearish pattern moving upward. It was a more harsh bearish pattern and it keeps breaking out of that, but it's still in that bearish pattern. Nothing has indicated that we're pumping up to past all-time highs. And that's what we're really watching for. Are we going to hit past all-time high and see crazy new numbers, or are we working our way back down? Has anyone looked into STX? It's only been on the market for about 3 or 4 weeks. Let me have the fact checker look into STX. Let me get the fact checker here going. Or SXT. Can you look into SXT for me?
About what?
What do you want to know about it? What do you want to know about SXT? It says, has anyone looked into SXT? It's only been on the market for 3 or 4 weeks. Thoughts on it? Yeah, I'll have the fact checker pull it up right now. Because we're in the studio, I'm in the studio part, the recording side of it, and then there's a secondary side where the staff is at. We have IT in there and mission control. And so the mic system is not set up in there yet. So they will be mic'd at one point where they can just chime in and talk directly into the show. So that is coming soon. We are building. We literally a few months ago started. I was just a guy with a phone pointed at a tablet, and here we are now sitting in the studio. It's amazing. Mission control, awesome. Yeah, mission control, we're headed to the moon. But as of right now, Houston, we've got a problem. We've got a problem. We've been grounded till further notice. Love me some Moodang. Never play meme coins, and you said last week we are in meme season. I put 5K into Moodang at 4 cents and sold at 22 cents. Good for you, buddy. Glad to see. Hopefully you recovered from that short you put in. Because I told you, I warned you when you put in that short. I was like, hey, man, I'd wait. We're in consolidation. I'm not too sure. And sure enough, we got that moon cycle pump. How about the moon cycle, though, right? Isn't that crazy to think that people trade? That ship has sailed. Yeah. Hopefully you regained any losses from that, though. But the moon cycle is very interesting to me. And for some reason, the moon just plays such a role in the markets, not only in the lingo that we talk, but in the cycle that the moon has. And that would indicate, you know, that we've got probably a month of downward movement coming our way. Maybe not a month, because it would probably be, I'd say, a week or two of stagnation and then downward movement, possibly. We just kind of have to see. Dip coming anytime soon for XRP. That's what we're watching for, but I would say yes. Unless we break above this line here, and this line on the top becomes support. If we break above this line right here, and we start bouncing off it and shooting up and bouncing off of it and shooting up towards $3, I would say get ready for that $5 price. I would be like, $5 price incoming, ghost goes away, and the moon comes up. But until that indication has shown itself, we are still in a bearish pattern. All right. This downward channel is bearish. This upward channel is still bearish. Now, this downward channel needs a breakout and a move upward. Okay. And a move upward would take it up to at least $3 and even, you know, $3.40, and then it could flag from there and continue onward. That is possible. But this could be it. It could be a lot of resistance. 280 could be it. And it just comes up and then moves back into this channel. This channel wants to send it down. This channel wants to send it up. However, this is a bigger, stronger channel forming right here. Okay. This has been going on for like 180 days. This whole move across here. So this would hold more likely to play out than this, which means that if this is the breakout, we could possibly break through this and use this as support. And let me tell you, if this breaks through this and has it as support, I'm going to be throwing so much money at it. Anything below $3 is going to be a good deal. All right. It is going to want to do crazy nonsense. It could go to $8, maybe even 10. I don't think we're going to see like $25 maybe in like a decade, but it is possible, but nothing is confirmed yet. Nothing is giving me that indication. What I'm seeing is an indication of this isn't going to be the bull flag everyone's saying. It's going to be a channel upward and then a breakdown from that channel, which would come back down to the line of support here. So it would break down at 230 and work its way up and then break that down to 230 to $2 again. Lots of people are talking down on XRP. That means they want everyone out of XRP. I agree. Usually whatever the media is saying is what you should be doing the opposite. If they're saying, oh yeah, it's going crazy and analysts say this right after it had a big pump, that's because it's probably going to pull back. The article will say it's going to $50, and then you read it and it says that it's going to $50 in a decade. You know, what support is breaking? I think I want to put more in. Okay. So no support is breaking. No resistance is breaking. Okay. This top blue line right here, Guinea Marie, this top blue line is resistance. This bottom blue line is support. Okay. This line up here on the top is now support. But X marks the spot. So we would move up here and probably fall down, and the entry point would be at 230. If it doesn't break from there and continue to fall down further to $2. But I would say if it does fall to $2, that's like a nasty maybe Head and Shoulders that formed there. I don't know. I would say it's a little out of, but it kind of is, that could form. Break down to $2, consolidate again, and then break down. But I'm not even going to call that. It's way too soon to see anything like that. And it's a little broad on the shoulders here. But we need to get above this blue line if we're going to see $3 in the next few days, in the next week, I would say. The next coming weeks, could be 2 weeks. However, we have moved from 161 all the way to 265 without a real pullback. There's been no price correction. It's due for a price correction down to 220 at least. What range busts the blue line? What do you mean, Kodak? Let's see here. B subscribed at tier 1. Thank you, B. How you doing? Look at Mari. Mari is doing an amazing job with learning the crypto game. Oh, Marie, Guinea Marie. I know Guinea Marie is the most improved follower from every one of the people that I coach individually. By the way, if you are watching on TikTok and you become a deluxe subscriber, you can get that one-on-one coaching with me. I'll tell you what, Guinea Marie has been the fastest learner and has grown so much where she is messaging me and saying, I think it's going to do this now. And I'm like, I think you're right. Let's see here. I got to catch up on and we got 2 chats going. I can't see numbers. Okay. So the straight blue line is about 230. That's the entry point zone. More than likely, that's subject to change. That's if it's to go down. Yes. I think it's due for a price correction to go down. It's definitely due for it. It needs it. It would be normal for it to move down to 230. And it could do it slowly, gradually, kind of like how it did right here. Slowly, gradually, just kind of move its way over and then go up. Kodak says, thanks. No problem. I think you both had the exact same question, just in the same chat or different chats. Not much bad news to push it down. Yeah, but let me tell you, there is the possibility of bad news to come. Okay? Let me tell you what more than likely will be the bad news. It will be based off of the tariffs. There are no deals. If a deal that was supposed to go through that's pumping it up right now ends up not happening within the next 90 days, expect to see a crash. Expect to see another one of these long, heavy crashes like this. Just red all the way down. Expect to see that. Because nothing is signed yet. There is no deal. There are no deals, and we're going to cover that. You know what? Let's cover the trade stuff. We're a little out of order, but I think sometimes it's better for the show. Tariff receipts topped $16 billion in April, a record that helped cut the budget deficit. Okay, so customs duties totaled $16.3 billion for the month, some 86% above the $8.75 billion collected during March, and more than double the $7.1 billion a year ago. That's crazy. We made, as a country, like our government made ridiculous amounts of money just over the last month because of tariffs. And the deficit, normally in April, the deficit goes up because of tax returns. This is like the first time, I think, in, I don't know, I would say maybe 10 or 20 years that we've actually had a surplus this month in the deficit. So that's an incredible thing all in its own. Is XLM finished pumping? Let me get through the news and I will cover that. So stick around. Danny Gibson, I got you. Remind me if I forget. But we got a few articles we got to cover before we can get back to the charts. And I'm probably going to skim through some of these because there's a lot to cover, and some of them popped up last minute from the research team. Our journalists here found some things that I missed. Because I'm human, I miss things, and that's why we have a team. More heads are better than one. And so this is great. Everything is working out the way I hoped it would. Shipping containers are seen at the port of Oakland as trade tensions over the U.S. with China in Oakland, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. We read this already. I don't want to get into all this. It really doesn't matter. Okay. The meat and potatoes is right here. We got a surplus this month, right? So let's get rid of that one. And some of these are just affirmation articles. I'm doing good, B. It's good to see you, man. I know it's been a while. Things are turning around. You jumped on the show to see if we're going to the moon. U.S. China tariff truce triggers Trans-Pacific rush, but uncertainty lingers. A brief easing of tariffs between the US and China has set off a burst of trans-Pacific trade activity, but deeper tensions and long-term supply chain disruptions continue to cloud the outlook. A 90-day truce in the ongoing US-China trade war has sparked a rush to move goods across the Pacific, with businesses scrambling to take advantage of temporary lowered tariffs. President Donald Trump, and it was Big Baller on Twitch. He said his business, he's rushing to get his products over here right now. He is a prime example of that happening. Personal experience right here in the chat that this is actually happening. So people are rushing to move products back and forth before the 90 days is up. President Donald Trump essentially backed down on a trade war that he started with China, reducing U.S. duties on Chinese imports from pushing 145% to 30%. China, meanwhile, slashed its tariffs on American goods from 125% to 10%. And mind you, before this happened, we were paying 7% to China, but China was paying almost zero. China had tariffs in place, but the Biden administration did not enforce them on China that whole time. So I would say that this is in a net positive. Even though we're paying more, China's actually paying their 30%. So that's the difference to take away from this. If you look at the numbers, it's a bit misleading because of, even though China had that percentage on them, they weren't paying it at all. You've been in a lot of meetings, B. Yeah, I get it. And I understand it's hard to see the show all the time. I'm here every day. You don't miss me. I'm here 5 days a week. There are a few times where I have to take a day off here and there because of being sick or doctor's appointments and stuff. But this has become, I mean, I'm supposed to be retired, but this has become a full-time job. But I love it. I love doing it. So it's easy for me to do it because I'm not really working because I love what I do. But I really don't make any money doing it. So, by the way, we are supported by your donations. So if you do want to help support the show, we don't make any money off of TikTok or Twitch. What keeps the show going and keeps the staff employed are your donations. Your donations go directly to paying the staff, building the studio, doing all of this stuff. I've invested a little over $15,000 into building this whole thing, and it's, becoming an empire now. Do it. The empire. But yeah, it's amazing. We've grown so much. So if you do want to give to the show, the best way to do it is through donation. I talked to my guy in China and I asked him about the 90-day pause, and he said, make sure you get your products before 90 days. It's coming from owner of a factory. Yeah. You'll make money on subs soon. Yeah, I'm sure, but it won't be much. I pay the staff and the construction crew and everything. I've already paid so much more than I'm receiving in revenue. So it'll be a while before we turn a profit, but I do believe that we are moving forward. The only reason I would say that we are getting, I wouldn't say we're profitable, but and I wouldn't say we're breaking even, but I'm able to continue to employ the staff is because of the donations. So the donations right now are the lifeblood of this whole thing. So much appreciated to all those of you who donated. Much appreciated. All right, let's see here. I don't think we need to read any more of that. Just understand. Oh yeah, actually there is. Hold on. Be cautioned. My feeling is that we will see a small recovery, but not a big recovery. And you will still have empty shelves, and you will still have increased inflation in the US as a result of these tariffs. The products that have been tariffed have not hit the shelves yet. And when they do, the prices will go up. And do you really think that these companies, after they get you used to paying a price for something, they're going to drop the price? They might do it a little bit and say, oh, the tariffs or whatever, we're going to drop the price a little bit, but they're going to keep their prices higher, and they're going to rake in more profits than they've ever seen. So keep that in mind. The price of goods are probably not going to come down much. They were already increasing the prices of the goods, and the trade deal hadn't even affected anything yet. They just took stuff that was already on the shelf and hiked the price of it up. And I get it. They're expecting that, oh, maybe they're not going to receive any more or whatever, supply and demand, whatever you want to call it. But we haven't even seen the lack of goods on the shelf yet, because it will take time for these things to happen. Just like it did in 2020, we didn't feel any of that until like 2021. So mind you, it could take months to really feel that. Let's see here. Inflation eased after Trump Liberation Day tariffs. We read this already, and let's give it a listen here.
The Consumer Price Index shows inflation is cooling. Prices rose 0.2% in April, up slightly from March, but lower than analyst expectations. And prices are up 2.3% compared to a year ago. That's the lowest annual increase in more than 4 years. Let's bring in Bankrate financial analyst Stephen Cates for more. Stephen, thanks for coming on. What do these numbers tell you about the state of the economy?
Well, I think this is, as you mentioned, lower than anticipated, but it really belies what we expect the long-term impacts of the tariffs to be. I think ultimately this is a short-term view of a few weeks after the tariffs were announced. It may take a few months until some of this starts to work its way through the system and actually reach the consumer.
That said, markets rallied yesterday after the U.S. and China agreed to lower tariffs for 90 days. So will the negative forecast about the trade war be reversed if we're able to reach deals with our trading partners?
I think this is unequivocally very good news. Obviously, the stock market reacted very positively, and this is a trend in the right direction. I think to look at where we were a few weeks ago, this is a massive improvement for China to go from 145 down to 30. But if we compare this to where we were 90 days ago, we were now at 30. We're at ultimately across the entire world, roughly 12% net on tariffs. That's still a significant increase from where the administration began. And that is going to ultimately impact Americans, whether through reduced demand or higher prices.
President Trump's also touting this Saudi prince $600 billion investment in the U.S. How significant is that, and what kind of impact could it have if the deal goes through?
Well, deals like this are certainly what the Trump administration wants to tout, that they're building, consensus from the globe to invest in America. And so that underscores some of the work that they believe is going to bring America back. But ultimately the follow through is going to be what's most important. Getting a deal done is one thing. Implementing that deal and seeing the results are going to be another thing. That may take some years, but it's certainly a good trend to see other countries investing in the U.S.
Bankrate financial analyst Stephen Cates, thank you.
My pleasure.
All right. So it's not
There's
over yet.
nothing like a day of fish.
We're not out of the woods yet. And we saw this when inflation rose in April. And we all already know that this is a lie. We just saw that inflation is down. And remember, they use special wording right here. The annual inflation rate without volatile food or energy prices. Most people, 90% of our incomes we spend on food and energy. Remember that. So they use special tactics in order to lie. So remember that. What's up, TikTok seller? Good to see you, man. Let's see here. Why an economist say temporary U.S.-China tariff deal doesn't ease uncertainty. News that the U.S. and China have paused massive tariffs on each other has U.S. businesses rushing to import goods that have been sitting at ports and factories in China for the past 40 days. The deal, announced after negotiations with the countries meet in Switzerland over the weekend, brings U.S. taxes on Chinese goods down to 30% from 145 imposed by President Trump in early April. China agreed to lower its taxes to 10%, down from 125% imposed on the U.S. But there is no official agreement. It is a pause. This is we're going to agree to disagree for 90 days. Let's not cripple the world's economy, and let's talk it out. But there is no deal. Nothing's been signed yet. They talk in public and use words what they're saying. Oh, I know. They use special language. Like, for instance, you'll hear the left do this a lot. They'll say, they're threatening our democracy. They're undermining our democracy. They're trying to remove our democracy. Okay, the United States is not a democracy, and it never has been. It's a republic. It's a democratic republic, but it is a republic. It's never been a democracy, and democracy is socialism. Okay? And they use these words because they want you to fight for democracy, which is basically socialism. And let me tell you, democracy is a bunch of wolves and a sheep deciding what's for dinner. That's what democracy is. It's a bunch of wolves and one sheep deciding what we're going to eat for dinner. And a republic is a well-armed sheep and a bunch of wolves deciding what's for dinner. That's the difference. Having a republic gives the little guy an opportunity to have a voice. A republic is very important for this country, and I think for the world. Obviously, not everywhere is a republic, but for the United States, it is very important that we keep our republic intact and that we do not fall into a democracy. This is very important, and it's very important that people understand what that is, because if the masses can just vote for something, just because the majority agrees upon something doesn't make it right. Doesn't make it the right thing just because of the majority. And that's what socialism is. That's what communism is. Those are two different words as well. They use socialism instead of communism. And they are two different things. But we have to understand that they use special language. They manipulate words to get you to feel a certain way, but be swayed in their direction. You believing something different than what they're actually saying. They know exactly what they're saying. They use those words in that way on purpose. They know exactly what they're doing. And what they're doing is they are changing the way the young people see, perceive, and think about how things work. Most kids today, I bet you would be able to ask them and they would tell you that we have a democracy. We don't. Never have. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. So yeah, there's still uncertainty in the markets. We don't know. And I'm going to save these two for later. Let's go back to the charts for a minute. Danny Gibson wanted me to look at XLM. Let's take a look at XLM. I love XLM, by the way. It's one of my favorites because it's a little bit... Let me tell you one reason why I like XLM so much. First of all, you all know I love XRP. All right? Everybody knows it. This is an XRP show. When XRP is making... When the charts are difficult to read, is what I'm trying to say. When the charts are difficult to read for XRP or XLM, you can look at one or the other, and they're very similar in the way they move, but they're also different. So when you get an indecision on what is happening, like looking at XRP, man, you can be very indecisive on what is about to happen, but you look at XLM and you say, no, we're bullish, or no, we're bearish. Like, it's a good indicator to tell you what XRP is going to do and vice versa. Are you on TikTok today, or are we banned? Oh, never mind, we're on there. We have a constitutional republic. Yes. A constitutional republic means that the republic has to adhere to the Constitution. Thank you for clarifying that, B. Let's look at XLM. I would say it's kind of the same as XRP. Not enough data on the 1 day here. But I'd say that we have an inverted hammer and we have a hammer. I'd say XLM's got more in it. And if XLM's got more in it, I'd say XRP's got more in it. The question is how much more? The question is how much more. I would say 235 for XLM. And I've been saying that for a few days. Actually about a week now already. Man, time flies when you're doing this show, and you're even on the weekends, man. I'm working with the construction crew, getting all this stuff built and putting all this stuff together with the IT guy, and just working on everything. It's been non-stop for months. Since we started this show, I've basically worked 7 days a week, except for when I got sick. I did take 1 day off. 1 day sick, dead in bed, and then I did some work, on other days, but that was the only time I really took any time to myself. All right, let's look at H-bar for TikTok seller. I think everything's got a little bit more left in it, to be honest with you, just because I know that everything moves in unison. No, that's not it. Hedera US dollar, there it is. H-bar looks the same as XLM. H-bar's got to move to at least 24 to 26 cents, I think. Somewhere around there. And I mean, it could go further. It could go to 228 and beyond. But from what we're seeing right now, we only have so much data. But if this was the top and now we're hitting resistance and we're going to get a pullback, I would say it's probably going to do something like that. That looks about right. We had an inverted head and shoulders right here, is usually followed by another head and shoulders. So it just depends on the news right now. The news is the teetering thing. Yeah, we'll do Solana. I think Solana actually is looking good, but I'm a little wary on Solana just because Calvin Hill says that it's going to do good. But I'll tell you, a broken clock's right twice a day. Yeah, so Solana played out its head and shoulders perfectly and fully. The question is 179, 180 going to be support, or will it blow past it? The question is this going to be a diamond top right here? We don't know yet because it hasn't given us enough data. But I would say that that's the makings for a diamond top. And if it really just depends on the news right now. That's what I'm gonna guess, because I think everything's due for a pullback. Calvin catching heat, and I couldn't love it anymore, laughing my ass off. I know, right? Calvin's been catching it lately. And it all started with me. Everybody was bowing down to him, and then we got into it, and since then it's been this thing to troll Calvin Hill. I don't know if we started that trend here, but it's definitely a trend now. And we need to start doing hashtag troll Calvin or something. You know what I mean? I think that this is highly likely, and that would kind of line up that we could possibly drop from here, pump back up hard, drop down pretty hard, and then kind of consolidate, and that would bring it, if it does this, it would bring it down to 147 to 140. He gets pushed in the algorithms because he lies. Exactly. And that's why I need your support more than ever, because we don't get pushed. We grow because of your support. And even just hitting the like button. If you're on TikTok, go in and smash the like button. And if you're on Twitch, everybody run on over to TikTok real quick and just start smashing the like button so we can start building up our community, help drive in new people. So if you are watching on Twitch, go on over there real quick and hit the like button a bunch of times. And if you want to jump back over to Twitch, go back to Twitch. But we use TikTok in order to bring in new viewers, because Twitch is so new for us. We haven't reached that audience yet. And Twitch is just building and growing on the crypto community. There's not really a space for it yet. And I believe that's why they reached out to me to possibly speak at the Twitch convention. So we'll see what happens with that. Says, sorry, I deleted TikTok. No worries, man. But hopefully we do TwitchCon in San Diego and I get to speak there. And I'm hoping that that brings a new audience, not only to Twitch, but to this show. And it's going to grow us exponentially. So fingers crossed. Oh, hold on. We got to do the TikTok prove that we're still live. They think we're cheating. But yeah, I'm really excited for that. And if anything, it sounds like I'm going to be, if I don't get a speaking spot at the convention, I'll probably have some kind of recognition or be attending. So that'll be cool. Is this pre-recorded? What do you mean pre-recorded? XRP starting to form a downside cup, an upside down cup. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, we're live right now, but everything is recorded. So you saying that this is a cup and handle, or you're saying that it's going to form a cup? That this is going to be the cup and handle? Is that what you're saying? It depends on the time frame you're looking at. Are you talking about like the 1 minute or something? The 1 hour? Let me see. Talking about this, like a cup and handle? And that would, if that is a cup and handle, that would indicate the move to 270. Yeah, we don't do the 1 minute here. I know, right? If everything goes okay with my surgery, I should be attending TwitchCon also. Oh, by the way, B, I did put in a word for you. For TwitchCon, you may be my special guest, just so you know. I was going to reach out to you about that, but I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to throw them in there because I needed some, because they're like, you have to have like a secondary person with you. And I was like, all right, who do I know that's on Twitch? I was like, of course, B. And I figured you have your community. So it's not 100% and like you have no obligation to it whatsoever. But I did throw your name and your channel out there. That looks like a wonky inverted head and shoulders. I know, right? I think it's more of a cup and handle kind of, but this kind of throws it off. Maybe it's more like this is the cup and handle. However, a cup and handle wouldn't come from a bearish fall. It would come from a bullish push. So from a bearish fall cup and handle, it would more likely break down. And we're disconnecting again on TikTok. What's crazy though is we're doing good on Twitch, but we're disconnecting on TikTok. Yeah, hopefully we do the TwitchCon and we can go together and that'll be something we do. Hopefully we shall see. I have a good feeling about, oh, you know what? Check out this cup. Hold on. Is that a cup and handle? If that's a cup and handle, that would indicate a bit of a pullback and then a nice push up to 280. But I'm excited about TwitchCon. I'm probably going to TwitchCon even if I don't speak. I'm probably going to still go. Even if they don't give me like credentials to go, I can more than likely get in for free because I work at the convention center all the time. So that wouldn't be hard. However, the convention center has upped their security, but there are ways. I know the secret passwords and the special doors to go knock on. I haven't been to San Diego Convention Center in about 2 years now. I don't know. Maybe this is a cup and handle. If this is a cup and handle right here, I would say that we could potentially pump to 280. Textbook play would be cool here. Yeah, we'll see. And don't forget, if you're watching on TikTok, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the show with your friends. Let's get this show out there. Let's promote it and get it rolling, because we have been hitting rookie numbers on the likes, and I get why. We've moved like 50% of the people that actually engage with our show over to Twitch. So it's to be expected. So those of you who are on TikTok, I need my TikTok warriors to continue to hit that like button and continue to comment and engage. We just did H-bar, but I'll do it again. Let's see here. H-bar kind of looks the same. I think it's got more in it though. 226, 225, 226. I think there's a lot of moon cheese going out. Big Baller, thank you for gifting those subs. Thank you so much for that. We got a hype train. We're 50% of the goal to another 5 subs will oh yeah, $2, sorry. Yeah. 25 cents. So another 5 subscribers on Twitch will get us to level 2 of the hype train. Boom, we made it. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for that support. Yes, look at that hype train. That is awesome. I'm not used to seeing level 5 complete. And that's good, because we are trying to push the show for Twitch right now. Because I feel like if we continue to meet goals on Twitch and grow, we will more than likely get that upcoming talent spot. And the thing is, Twitch doesn't have much of a space for crypto. I've only seen like 10 other crypto shows on Twitch, and they're not good. No, I would say that our show is one of the highest quality shows for crypto on Twitch. Matt Hendricks, bro, I'm stuck in the ads while the gifted subs are coming in. But TikTok seller got you. I know the ads suck. I do apologize for it, but we have to have a safety net from TikTok. We have to have it, because TikTok, eventually we're just going to move away from TikTok and do something different, and we won't do the price points there anymore. But it is we are pulling people from TikTok and bringing them to Twitch. So it's kind of like one of those, like, what do I do? But also notice how TikTok you can see the same show that you'd get on Twitch right now. It's the same thing, right? The TikTok live studio could go away at any moment. All they got to do is hit me with a guideline, and boom, that's gone, and we're back to pointing the camera at the screen. And I am just so sick of filling out the the paperwork. I'm going to have to, if it continues, I'm going to have to hire someone just to deal with the appeals process for TikTok, and TikTok is just not profitable enough. XRP is trying hard to break 260. Yeah, let's finish up with Hedera here. I think 225, 226, or excuse me, not 25 or 26 cents. Sorry, I'm so stuck on XRP's price. Send subs him because it will help him grow fast. Thank you, much appreciated. Could you analyze Tether? Is that Tether or Tether? I'm guessing it's Tether because we don't do Tether around here. We don't speak about Tether in these parts. Did you see ads for Algo on TikTok? No, I did not. I did not. That's interesting. I really like Algorand, by the way. Ever since the crypto summit, I'm about it. Tether token? Where's Tether on what on Binance? It's a token, right? Oh, I put Tether. T-A. Tether. Tether token. I have it on Swift FTX. Oh, Sui FTX in Australia. Man, remember what happened with FTX, bro? Anything that says FTX, I don't want it. Want it. Grocery lines for Bitcoin was 27-minute wait. Line for Algo was lightning speed train. Yeah. And Algo is going to be fast, but I think XRP, I think HBAR is the fastest out of all of them right now, right? HBAR, Algo, and XRP are like the fastest transactions. This is interesting. Let me tell you. If this is a cycle, it's in despair. I'd say hold on to this one. I might buy some of this. I think this one's got some pump in it. Oh yeah, baby. Dang, 16 bucks. See, when was this? Was March, October, December. Obviously, when it first came out, it got its first big pump. I think the next pump will fall short just like this one did. Probably 265-ish to 290. What is it? Tethos? T-E or T-H-E-T-A-U-S. I'd say that it's dropped into despair. This would be fear right here, capitulation, despair. And it looks like it's about to get another cycle. Dang, I gotta buy some of this. It's hard to say because it could just be a dying coin, but look, it got 2 cycles. It could take a few months, but I would say by November, this thing could be, 280, 275-ish. That looks good. Who said that? This one? Who asked me to look at this one? Let's see. I'm way behind on the chat. H bar is the long play. I agree. H bar is a long road. It's doing good for me. Really? Kaylin, you're Mother of Dragons, right? Good eye. Let's do our monthly welfare check on Mantra or whatever got rug pulled. Oh my god. Only $1. Yeah, Mantra's done. Check out ETHFi. Oh, I have ETHFi. I bought ETHFi when it hit the market. ETHFi moves opposite of Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin's down, ETHFi goes up. Bitcoin is down. I'm going to leave this one up here because I'm going to look into that. Hold on. Gooncoin. All right. Give me you guys a second. The chats are flying on both sides. I know whatever you're watching, it shows like not much of a chat, but the other side's going when the other one's not going. ETH. Is it EtherFi or is it ETHFi? Because I have ETHFi. I think it's ETHFi. That's the one I have. I have this one. Ooh, yeah, baby. I haven't even looked at that. That one's got more in the tank. That one's got more in the tank, baby. I think it might do 160 if the markets keep going the way they've been going, or it's due for a price correction. And it'd be like some little head and shoulders thing here, bringing it back down to where it was. You bought it on the recent low. Yeah, this one I really like this. This is what I want to see. I want to buy in these zones here. I want to buy in these zones, catch these pumps, sell them. This is good. You may end up holding it for a while before you catch it, but you'll catch it. It'll happen again. Yeah, I'm going to buy some of that today after the show. Dude, who put us on that find? Yeah, that was Kaylin. Kaylin did that. I don't know why I bought it. Someone must have mentioned it. Good for you. This is sick. This is what I want to see. I want to see in the middle of a bull run, the end of a cycle, gearing up for a new one, right before we go into altcoin season, meme coin season. What? Oh, this is sick. I'm leaving this one up because I'm buying this. Can you type in the chart what token that was? Theta. Yeah, it's right here on the screen. Here, let me blow it up for you. There it is. Thetas. Or is it the Oz? I think it says the Oz. The Oz. Where do you buy that? What platform? I think it was a let me double check. What it shows several there's several platforms. Theta, right? Looks like it's on Binance, Coinbase, Bybit, BitMEX. OKX, Kraken, Launch Crush. The name of that coin is THETA. I'm going to pull it up one more time because this is a beauty. This is a beauty. This is what you want to see, guys. This is just, I mean, despair would have been the time to buy, but I think, you know, it could run sideways for a year. But that gives you a whole year to keep buying this one before it runs up again. Zoom in on the 1 hour. Yeah, let's take a minute here. Oh, everything looks the same. Look, it double topped and didn't really play out all the way because news, and it pumped. There's just not enough data to say what it's going to do. It's probably going to do what it did here. Break down, pump up, break down, pump up. And that could be it. Or it does like a head and shoulders thingy, but it's hard to tell. It's technically a widening, broadening, and I mean that's hella broad. I would say that's the makings for a diamond top right there. That's the makings for a diamond top. Bring it down to 97, 98 cents, 99 cents, probably 99. That's the makings of a diamond top. If it is, there's just not enough data yet on that one. But I mean, I'd buy this one and just hold it and wait for it to pump. And once it peaks up, it'll do it quick too. When it peaks, it'll be real quick and just have a limit order set on it. And when it does it, just take it. It could go more, you know, but I mean, why not? Let's say it's fallen down a little lower each time. It went from 383 or excuse me, yeah, 383 down to 339. I would say the next would be 280, but that's beautiful. From $1 to 280, that's like the pump everybody wants from XRP right now. Gee, they gave the big long rug candle. What, on XRP? What are you talking about? Yeah, I'd say that this one's in accumulation. As long as it's running, I'd say from where it's at or lower, which more than likely it's probably going to drop lower. You can probably buy it again as low as like 50, 60 cents. I'd probably say 60 cents is, you know, around its bottom, 55 cents. But more than likely it's going to do this. And who knows, maybe by November it would pump. Boom. Nice little shark fin. That, if that pumps, that would be the same movement as if you bought XRP at $1 and sold it at, you know, 280. That's a decent move. That is a decent move. I like that one. It's fresh, it's early. and we're about to move into altcoin season. You paid that? Yeah, you got in at the right zone. I'm obviously not going to buy today, but I'll tell you what, if it does something like this and then starts to move up, I'm going to probably get in right here at 93-ish, because that'll head and shoulders up to 148 for sure, and then probably come back down. Boom, like that. I'll ride that wave. I will ride that wave. That's beautiful. Good for you, Kayleen. So proud of you. So proud of all of you. You've all grown so much as traders. Some of you, you're already, well advanced, but those of you who are the new traders and that have been taking advantage of my coaching, it's amazing. Excuse me. It's amazing. Yeah, fingers crossed. I mean, I wouldn't say you wouldn't be able to break even. If it just ended up being a dead project at that price at around 50, 60 cents, you're not going to take a loss. You're going to at least be able to get out at what you paid for it, or just hold on to it for a long time. Those are the kind of buys I like. I want to catch it in that despair, because it's at the mean right now. It's at the mean, and it just came up from despair. You might have to hold it a long time, but eventually that one's going to pay off. All right, let's talk about, since we're in this meme coin, did I miss anybody's? HD Malicious got a gifted sub. Thank you so much. Wow. Big Baller gifted 2 subs. TikTok Seller gifted a sub. Gift a subscription. Hold on. Oh, I see. I did 20. You did 20 subscriptions? Holy crap. Oh, yeah. Okay. So Big Baller gifted 5. TikTok Seller gifted 20 subscriptions. Wow. Thank you so much for that. $100. Thank you so much. Thank you. That is amazing. You guys have been so supportive. And TikTok Seller, you've donated to the show. Much appreciation. And we're making money, like we're making money because of the show. We're doing this together. So thank you all very much for your generous donations. Give some love in the chats for TikTok Seller. We appreciate you. Yes. And you all are in competition now at 20 subs. So if you're going to beat that, you're going to have to send 25 subs. So let's see who beats that. No, I'm just kidding. Just egging you on a little bit. Yeah, B also gifted subs. I think B gifted 5, but it's not showing. I don't know why it's not showing B's gifts. B gifted the first subs. Like when we first started, I think he sent a whole bunch of them. Thank you, B. B's been a big supporter of this show as well. All of you, those of you who are like the diehard watchers of this show, you're either gifting subs or you're smashing like buttons or you're sending donations. Yeah, we definitely grew. Guinea Marie is, I believe, one of our top donators to the show. So thank you, Guinea Marie, for your donations. Much appreciated. And mind you, those donations literally are employing people. You guys are helping create jobs. All right, let's talk about this. Bitcoin dominance. All right. Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is still up. So we're not quite in meme coin season yet. If you believe that we are not in a simul cycle, and I appreciate you getting Marie. Thank you very much. I believe that we're in somewhat of a simul cycle, but I also believe that is a massive group, and most people believe that we're in a regular cycle or a super cycle, and they're all waiting for Bitcoin dominance to drop, excuse me. So if Bitcoin dominance does drop, which it will, altcoins will get a run. I don't think it'll be as big as we've seen in the past, but we will see a run, right? The altcoin season index, though, we are, we moved all the way from over here and we were kind of in here, and we were closer to the middle a few months ago, and we've moved back. But, we've got a long way to move over before we start crossing over. But I'll tell you, once we get to like right here where the cursor's at, it's going to move quickly. Boom. Into here, and then boom. And then boom. So it'll happen quickly when it does. But if you look, like, Bitcoin pumped, and then it dropped, and then altcoins pumped again. And so, like, I think that's why the cursor is starting to move over, because I think we're starting to get into that season. What's your choice of meme coin for upcoming cycle and altcoins? What do you think will get the biggest pump? If XRP does not get the settlement and injunction removed, I would say it's likely that it would be, HBAR, Solana. Otherwise, if XRP gets the case dropped, I would expect XRP to surpass everything as far as altcoins go. Meme coins, I think Trump coin and fart coin would be some top ones for sure. Let's look at crypto bubbles, because the meme coins are based off of popularity. And crypto bubbles is good for tracking the popularity. You love Fartcoin? I know, right? I'm definitely going to pick up Fartcoin for sure. I'm going to always own a Fartcoin just so that I can say I own a fart. Let's look at this year. This year, XRP, Virtual, SPX, Brett, HBAR. So I would say Algo, HBAR, XRP, XLM, Cardano. Meme coins, I would say Pepe, Sui, AV, XMR. That's on the what do you call it? XRP Ledger, isn't it? Fartcoin, though, for sure. That one's always going to pump. I don't think it's up on the year, but I do believe that Fartcoin in the month. Fartcoin's always been a decent one. It did well. Trump coin will probably do something again, but I think probably not with Trump coin. I would say that it's when Trump coin came out, a lot of people bought Trump coin because they thought that was going to be the digital currency that the country was going to use. And I think they were misled by that, and they're like, oh shoot, we got in a rug pull. There's another Trump coin coming. Yeah, there'll always be another one, and they'll have their little bit of hype or whatever. But I would say the best way to find those meme coins is be on social media and hear what everyone's talking about. And you know, I'd say they're all gonna pump something, you know. But I tend to stay away from the meme coin territory. I got into Shiba Inu only because it had utility, you know. I don't know. Yeah, it's silly. The meme coin stuff is silly, and I get it. But I would say 9 times out of 10 on a meme coin, you're gonna get rug pulled. You're not going to make what you thought you're going to make. Most people hold too long, and they just crash so quickly. It's over. Yeah, a few bucks, whatever. I'm going to, own some fart coin just to own some fart coin. I'll probably never sell it like it's a collector's item. I would say for this cycle, your better bets are in utility. I'm calling this the utility cycle. The utility unicycle. So we'll see. Let's see. Fear and greed index. Greed is nearing crossing the line. Okay. When this gets close here, you should start being worried about selling. I'd even be a little worried now. And this is based off the crypto market, obviously, not just XRP in general. But yeah, I'll look at Move in just a second. But the fear and greed index, by the way, this is coinmarketcap.com. Check this out. This is a great trading tool. This is based off of the market cap of the entire crypto space. And there's a lot of tools to go through here, but I'm not going to go through all of it in detail. But ones to definitely watch is Bitcoin dominance, okay, altcoin season index, and the fear and greed index, because we are finally moving into that time frame where Bitcoin may fall from dominance. I haven't really covered it much. I think I covered it one time in the show, and that's because I didn't see much relevance in it yet, and I didn't want to throw people off. But we're starting to near that alt season line here, and we could be moving into that. And I would say that it's highly likely that this is a unicycle and everything is pumping together. Meme coins are pumping off cycle of Bitcoin and utility coins, and Bitcoin and utility coins are pumping together. And because of that, the liquidity is more spread out. People got into meme coins so early on because they wanted to try to catch it early to become filthy rich, right? And so because of that, it's not flowing the way it should. And Bitcoin dominance is based off of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay. I don't think this chart is accurate anymore because I feel like Ethereum is on its way down. Now, Ethereum did put out some new tech or whatever. And so there is that possibility that Ethereum's making a comeback. But I really feel like Ethereum is poised to be dethroned. The screen is wacky and distorted. I don't know why that is. All right, I'll look at the dog one. I got to look at Move real quick. Let me look at this one first. Oh, my computer froze. I lost all my fancy lines. I forgot to save them. Let's see. What was the project? Move. Oh my goodness. Am I looking at the right chart? I must be. My word. That is volatile as hell. That is so volatile. Look at that. There's definitely money to be made there. If you're trading, and look at this. We got trend lines here. If you're trading between here and it's just moving sideways, that's money. That is some good volatility. Boom. That's between 99 and 138. So you'd buy at 99 or lower, and you'd sell at 135 or higher. That's beautiful. That's what you want to see. However, I do think it's starting to curve down a little bit, but I think it's going to continue to do something like that. That's an easy consolidation trade right there. And this is the 1 day. So how many days between a trade? Let's see. 1, 2, let me zoom in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like about a week or two between a trade. Is a good day trade. I would say this is a good weekly trade. Not so much a day trade. But yeah, it would be a good day trade. But if you're not paying fees, but I would just say I would buy at 99 or lower and sell at 135 or higher. Which coin is that? This is Move, M-O-V-E. This is a nice trading coin. Now, at any point, this thing could fall out of consolidation and crash, or just moon. Either or. But in between, I mean, if you're just playing with a little bit of money, you could grow some money pretty quickly. It's like robotic how big the candles are. It's just massive moves. That is, it's called Move too. It moves, baby. All right, let's look at dog whiff hat. I'm going to leave this one up because I'm probably going to buy some of that too. I'm going to trade some of this. I'm going to throw $100 in there and see if I can turn it into 10,000. Let's see here. Dog, what a dog whiff hat. What a freaking name for a coin. I'm going to buy some whiff. Take a whiff of this thing. I'd say this thing's kind of trading with everything else. It's been on a downward trend since it came out. I'd say it's due for a pump. I'd say it's due for something. But if the market crashes, it'll probably crash with it. This is so new. This is just since December. And it's just been down, 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 down. But mind you, there are so many people that bought on all these zones all the way down. As it goes up, they're just going to liquidate it. It could keep it down because it just started downward. This has potential. It hasn't seen a really big pump yet. It has potential, but I would say be cautious. Be very cautious with something like this that's only seen downward movement. That means people have been buying it, hoping for it to make a turnaround, and they've been holding it for a very long time now, and they're just like, all right, I just needed to get to this number and I'm out of it. Party Patriot. Is that a coin? Party Patriot? Is that it? PRTI? Dang, everybody just flowing in with the things to look up. Simon says, "What's up, Oz? I've been out. I've watched the show on YouTube. No worries. Glad you're enjoying and taking advantage of being able to see the show on YouTube. Getting to watch it later on if you missed the live. That is the whole point. So I'm glad. I'm glad that you're utilizing that. Because it's not free. I pay the IT guy to come in every single day after the live and upload all that stuff and do all the IT stuff with. So please take advantage of that. Glad somebody's getting some use out of it. Plus, it's a way to save everything that I'm doing, you know. One day I'll be gone, but all these videos will exist. TikTok seller, is that Party Patriot you want me to look at? I don't know. I need a little clarification on that one before, so I'm gonna look at Peanut in the meantime. Peanut's the same thing. Same thing as that other one we looked at. It's just been a drop since it opened in December. And nothing's happened, and it's going to be hard for it to move up past this point of like 77 cents, because a lot of people are just going to be like, I want to get out of it, or they'll hold on to it and hope that it moons. I would say your time to buy was in this flat consolidation. But this is an ascending channel, which indicates a drop downward. But these meme coins are harder to chart because they'll just do the opposite. But it looks like it's ready for a nasty. It's about to fart coin. Pump hard and crash. How do I find Move? Move is... That's a good question. Move is on Binance, Coinbase, OXY, Bithumb, Bybit, Kraken. Lunar Crush. DeFi Llama. Those are where it's at. That is something though. Move. I'm pulling that chart back up because wait a minute. Wait a minute. This chart looks different. Okay. I'm retracting what I said about move because that may have been the wrong I may have clicked on the, maybe it was this one. That is weird. It looks different. Okay, sometimes the charts come up wrong on this and they don't load right. So this is move. And I would say it got rug pulled hard and dropped down. Yeah, be careful of move. The other one was just MOVE. What happened to that? Why did I back out of it? I'm glad I did, though, because I don't want to steer people in the wrong direction. Move US dollar. Yeah, something was off on that chart. Sometimes this thing doesn't load properly, and I thought it looked wonky. So move is basically the same, but I think it could be forming a head and shoulders thing here, inverted. I could see that to 35 cents. Or it just crashes down more. It's hard to tell. There's not enough data. After we pump like this, we have to start waiting to see what's it going to do? Is it going to consolidate or is it going to drop down? Goon coin? No, it said move, but it didn't say like move USD. It just said move. It could have been like market cap or something like that. Let's do Goon coin. Goon. Did you want to look at Goon coin? Is that actually a real thing? I generally won't look or condone anything that's on Tether. I don't know. Unless you want me to look at it, I'm going to look at it. But I don't know if that's... I don't see any charts there that I would want to use. I've done some small trades with GRT and done good with it. Let's see GRT. Yeah. I think GRT is... it's down here. It's definitely in that buy zone. I'd probably wait for a pullback. Your entry zone is going to be much lower. I'd say it's probably going to hit 5 cents again. But it, you know, it needs a little bit more of this in between here before I think it's going to come up again like this. And if it does spike again, it's probably only going to come up to about 28 to 24 cents. One, is that a coin? I have so much news to cover, guys. I enjoy doing this though. Let me look at another one. Let me look at another one. I do want to look at your stuff for you though. If you're a subscriber, you're on TikTok, I'm going to take care of it and we'll just cover the news tomorrow. One Kodak, are these the ones you're naming out are this is like D Trust. I don't recognize if it doesn't even say US, like this is wonton or South Korean won. I don't know if that's Kodak. You got to be specific. Is that a coin you're looking for, or are you typoing or something? I've done some. I'm thinking about hold it. If it drops for it, it pumps. Yeah, coins like that, these low market cap ones, just hold them until they pump like crazy, and then as soon as they do, sell them right away. They're not gonna hold at their positions. They're gonna pump and dump. So if you're holding them, you got to be watching the markets, waiting for that pump to happen, and then the moment it does, just sell it and get rid of it as fast as you can. Unless it has like some kind of utility. No, it's fine. I just read about it. All right, cool. Some of the, I can't know every project. I try to focus on XRP mainly because it's one of the hardest altcoins to chart and its utility. So that's why I do it, and because I believe in it. I think that it has the possibility to be something great. So that's why I do it. Oh man, my back is killing me. I kind of want to just end the live right now because my back hurts so bad. Oh, let's see here. Crypto news. I don't think we did this yet. Okay, XRP up 3%, Bitcoin down as crypto markets fall ahead of new US inflation data today. And that's because of that mixed news that we got. Yeah, I needed a stretch. Some people were fed a lie that Trump, caused inflation, and some people got the facts that inflation is down. And so because of that, Bitcoin fell 3%. All right. So does that indicate that Bitcoin dominance is dying? No, that indicates that people were fed fake information. And I noticed Bitcoin tends to be those who follow the fake news, because those of us who are well informed in crypto are a little afraid of Bitcoin. It's a bubble waiting to pop, and it's a meme coin. And so I think low information buyers and sellers buy Bitcoin. And I think there are those, they're the maxis as well, and they just believe these crazy outlandish things, just like the XRP people. They believe crazy outlandish things too. But I think the mass amount of Bitcoin holders are normies, people who don't know anything about the market, and they just read headlines. They don't really know what they're buying. They just feel like, okay, cryptocurrency is going to be something, but they think that Bitcoin is the cryptocurrency. They don't understand utility and how it works. So I feel like the majority of Bitcoin holders are low information buyers. And obviously there's those of us who hold a little bit of Bitcoin, whatever. I'm just saying, like, a lot of normies that don't really follow anything. They're just like, oh, I heard they're going to a new digital system. Maybe I should buy some of this Bitcoin. Those kinds of people. I have another meme banger. Green shot she token. Let's go. All right, let's take a look at it. And we'll get back to the news. Green. Green shot she token. What the hell? GST. Jesus. Look at it, just goes all the way to 15 cents. Oh man, I don't think we'll see pumps like this ever again. I think these crazy long pumps are done. The liquidity is so spread out. It might have another one in it, but it would only probably go to like 10 cents maybe, which ain't bad. But I would say probably 10 cents on that one overall. What's it at, a penny right now? That ain't too bad. Y'all are pulling out the pink sheets, man. And I'm telling you right now, you may have to hold this one for a long time before you get to 10 cents. But I think it could do it again. And it could not even be 10 cents. It could be 5 cents. But man, you guys in your pink sheets, man, I am not a fan of the pink sheets. The penny stocks. I will take 5 cents. I know these are the get rich quick scheme. And I think they'll have their thing. People are going to be watching them, you know, whatever. But there's so many meme coins now. Like, you have to be on what's popular. They'll pump and dump and then never do this again. You know, it could just flatline forever. Keep that in mind. You can just be holding it forever until it gets to negative 1 cent. Algo. My thoughts on Algo. I love Algo. I think Algo is going to be huge. Oh man. I am in so much pain today. Algo. I think everything's kind of in the same thing right now. It all got a nice little pump, and there's just not enough data yet to show what it's going to do. It kind of looks like a diamond top, though. I think that's what a lot of these are forming, is like somewhat of like this diamond top formation. But we're only like kind of halfway into forming it. If Algo forms this diamond top, then I would expect everything else that was forming it to be forming a diamond top, along with everything else in the market. That's a possibility. There's just not enough data yet. I don't want to throw you off. Let me tell you, everything right now, there's just not enough data to say. We just got a hard pump and we're due for price correction. You know? See how this pumped up here and then it corrected, and then it pumped up here and then it corrects, and then it pumps and it corrects. So it's hard to say. CMOT subscribed. Thank you, CMOT, for becoming a subscriber. Much appreciated. All right, let's get back to the news. Look at this. Why is Bitcoin falling again? It's basically because of inflation. People were told inflation is up and they're not expecting rate cuts. I think rate cuts might actually come. Altcoin also falls except XRP. Ethereum's weakness followed last week's Pectra hard fork which activated 11 improvement proposals designed to streamline execution and reduce fees. Early transaction costs recordings show modest relief, yet Ethereum's share, a total value locked, has continued to slide as competing layer 1 networks court developers with lower base costs. Yeah, I think Ethereum might just be done. I don't think they have the tech or the technology. I think when it came out, it was a great idea, but things are different now. Breaking the trend, XRP settled around 3% up to roughly 250 and sits around 5% higher for 2025, even as Bitcoin and Ethereum are flat to lower. That's incredible. Bitcoin is not but I'll tell you this, Bitcoin started a few weeks before, was moving while XRP was stuck sideways. XRP was stuck in a consolidation and it broke out from there. We're not getting rate cuts this summer. No, I think we'll get rate cuts at the end of the year. I don't think we're getting July rate cuts, that's for sure. But it's possible. But I think they're still waiting to see what happens because of tariffs. Because that impact hasn't really happened yet. Let's see. Coinbase shares could see 16 billion of buying pressure from S&P 500 index inclusion Bernstein. So Coinbase will be on the S&P 500. That's crazy. We already kind of covered this yesterday, but yeah. Coinbase on the S&P 500, that is going to inflow money into Coinbase and into crypto. That's awesome. Oh, we already covered this one. I don't know why I double tapped that one. XRP news today. Legal limbo and ETF delays stall XRP's bullish breakout. BTC at 104K. This was May 12th. This was yesterday. So XRP surged. And then, so basically XRP didn't do as well because of the legal limbo. However, we pumped today and we're holding steady. The reason I bring this up is because I think that this is wrong. I think that XRP is moving the same. It's just XRP fell to that really low position around 160 and moving up now. Those resistance zones of $2 and $2.20 are very strong resistance, and it just struggled to break through, not because the bulls couldn't push it up, but there was just a lot of sell orders placed in those areas because people know with XRP that is a tough zone to break. So I really think that that's all it was. Papa Powell, please. Yeah, Dizzle, all you got to do is become a subscriber and I'll look at whatever project you like, or come on over to Twitch and write it in the chat on Twitch and I will do it for free. We will be leaving TikTok. So we are migrating to Twitch eventually. So come on over to the Twitch side and type that in and I got you. And don't forget to smash that like button. Those of you on TikTok, we are almost to 10,000 likes. We're at 8.1K likes. Those are rookie numbers. We need to bump those numbers up. Start smashing that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the show, because we do need to build up our Twitch a bit more. We need to start growing that because it is a new platform for us. And because so many people have moved to Twitch, it's made our TikTok kind of slow. So we need to bump up that TikTok just a little bit more. So if you are watching on there, Kodak, if you're watching, I'm talking to you. TikTok seller, Lexus mom, my TikTok warriors, Neo 2.0, Jay Finity, Danny Gibson, censored by TikTok. If you guys are watching on TikTok, start smashing that like button. I need your help to continue to feed their algorithm. If you are on Twitch and you're watching, obviously there are those of you that are at work or you're driving or whatever, and you're listening to this like a podcast. I get it. You can't always be engaged, but for those of you who are available to do it, pop off of Twitch every once in a while and go into TikTok and just, start hitting the like button and spamming the chat. And that helps the TikTok algorithm. So much appreciated to all of you who continue to put in that extra work for the show. Much appreciated to all of you. But we need some likes over there for sure. There we go. I see two. I see a couple little likes flowing in. They're flowing in now. Keep smashing that like button. Thank you all so much. And for those of you who are on Twitch, don't forget, and TikTok as well, this show is supported by your donations. So I'm able to continue to keep the staff on and grow the show the way I have been because of your donations. So when you can give, much appreciated. If you can't afford to do it, no problem. Just go hit the like button on TikTok. All you got to do. But your donations are the lifeblood of this show. So I do appreciate all you very much. Those of you who help support the show and keep all this going. All right. Back to this one. India proposes retaliatory duties against U.S. steel and aluminum tariffs. The proposed suspension of concessions or other obligations takes the form of an increase in tariffs on selected products originating in the United States, India said in the notice. Okay? This is not good. This is reciprocal tariffs. All right? Everyone's focused on the China thing and the pause or whatever, and it's not even a real deal. They're focused on UK, but there are other countries that India is one of our biggest trade companies. I would say it's just under China. Okay? It's as big of a problem as China. And the fact that they're putting on reciprocal tariffs is not a good thing. And I think part of it is because they want a better deal, just like China got a really good deal. And I hope that this doesn't serve as a precedent for other countries to say, hey, all we have to do is slap mad reciprocal tariffs, deal with it for a couple of months, and then we're going to get the sweet deal that we're looking for. That's not a good thing. So that's something to keep in mind. By the way, this is brought to you by our news staff. I missed this. I did not catch this when I was looking through the news, and this was put on my desk like 5 minutes before the show. And I was like, holy cow, we need to talk about this. So tariffs are not over just because... Oh no, we're frozen again. See, there we go. I think we got hit with some kind of something. I'm gonna have to have the IT guy look at that, because when we look at all these different sites, man, they are full of spam and nonsense. So we have to like wipe the computer every day after the show because of the freaking news. It's ridiculous. If you're looking for the truth in the news, you're going to get spammed if you're not paying for it. I'll tell you that for sure. I thought it was doing great this whole year. Wait, I missed some of these. We're not getting rate cuts. I thought you said it was going bankrupt. What going bankrupt? Guinea Marie, I thought it was doing great this whole year. Coinbase going bankrupt? That's what you're talking about. So there was Coinbase filed some things, and there were some things filed, but it was some speculation about Coinbase. So remember, a lot of the news that I cover, you have to pay attention. Pay attention, people. Calvin's trying to tell you something. Pay attention. I do cover these articles because I think that they are relevant, but I also do point out that they're speculative. So we don't know. Yeah, XRP has done amazing this year. And Coinbase, what's going on with Coinbase could just be some FUD put out there. But the thing to take with Coinbase being put on S&P 500 is money is going to flow into crypto because of it. Just because Coinbase is listed on the S&P 500. But Coinbase, that's possibly a way for them to get the money that they need to not go bankrupt. But we'll have to see. But yeah, there was a whole thing with Coinbase possibly going belly up. So we don't know. It's speculative still. There's no set in stone that it's been filed or anything like that. But there have been questions where people have, there have been some concerning things with Coinbase. Every single trading platform has had some kind of scandal with it. And I think part of that is with a lack of regulations and things like that. So I think with more regulatory clarity, things will kind of change and pan out that way. So it just depends. It's still kind of in there. I think a lot of the information could end up coming out as viable. I heard nightmare stories about them freezing accounts and taking money. Oh yeah, I don't use it anymore because of that same reason. It will literally, when the markets are really moving and you need to make a serious trade, it'll freeze on you. It'll lock you out. It'll sign you out of your account, whatever. Coinbase is bad for that. But just because it's bad doesn't mean it won't be listed on the S&P 500, because the S&P 500 are the top Fortune 500 companies, right? So it being listed just means that it's a top Fortune 500 company. They still do some shady stuff, but it is the #1 crypto trading platform. It is the most used. Coinbase stocks shot up 23% today alone from the S&P news. I know, right? What's crazy is Coinbase is the one that's really robbing people. Either that or the network's just too slow and can't handle all those people. Rumors Coinbase is applying to become a bank. What? I'm going to have to get a fact check on that one. Let me get a fact check on that. That is fact check worthy. Let me get them. I have to call because they're in the other room running the equipment. Hey, can I get a fact check on Coinbase filing to become a bank? Yeah, thank you. All right. That one's coming right up. That would be very interesting, though. Let's see here. Oh, did someone ask about SXT chain earlier? I think someone did, and if you're in the show, I do apologize. I got sidetracked during the show. But SXT is space and time, is a cryptocurrency and the native token of the space and time blockchain. It powers a decentralized ZK proven database designed to bridge traditional data systems with blockchain technology. SXT facilitates security, coordination, and value exchange within the space and time network. So it's just another blockchain, I guess. That's cool, though. All right, let's see here. Considering a bank charter, Coinbase confirmed through a spokesperson that they are actively considering applying for a federal bank charter. No formal decision. The spokesperson emphasized that no formal decision has been made yet. Potential benefits: direct access to payment system. A bank charter could allow Coinbase to directly access the payment system, bypass the need for intermediary banks, streamline regulatory compliance. A federal charter could simplify regulatory compliance compared to negative multi-state level regulations. What? Oh, that's awesome. And if they do that, I might go back to using Coinbase just as a bank for like long-term things. But also the problem is having things safe and secure, not having it on a wallet, keeping it. It's just not secure enough yet. I don't know. I would probably say that Coinbase may be one of the more secure blockchains. But, you know, if they go belly up, then who knows? I don't like to use Coinbase personally. It lags too much. But I don't think it's going anywhere. Maybe even if they filed bankruptcy, they would probably just reopen as a different name. Yeah, it always goes down. If you don't have limit orders set, like if you're trading with limit orders, it's not that much of a problem. But if you're trying to trade with the market, when big things are happening, you can't do nothing. It just screws it all up. All right, India is putting on retaliatory tariffs. That's not good news, but it's all being suppressed and covered up because of the whole China thing. And I only saw that one article and I didn't even see it. I was looking and I didn't find it. Yeah, they charge more fees. Trump says U.S. will remove all sanctions on Syria. Let's watch the video.
That's why my administration has already taken the first steps toward restoring normal relations between the United States and Syria for the first time in more than a decade. And I'm very pleased to announce that Secretary Marco Rubio will be meeting with the new Syrian foreign minister in Turkey later this week. And very importantly, after discussing the situation in Syria with the Crown Prince, your Crown Prince, and also with President Erdogan of Turkey, who called me the other day and asked for a very similar thing, among others, and friends of mine, people that I have a lot of respect for in the Middle East, I will be ordering the cessation of sanctions against Syria in order to give them a chance at greatness. Oh, what I do for the Crown Prince. The sanctions were brutal and crippling and served as an important function, nevertheless, at the time. But now it's their time to shine. It's their time to shine. We're taking them all off, and they're going to have, I think they're going to have, based on the people and the spirit and everything else that I'm hearing about. So I say good luck, Syria. Show us something very special like they've done, frankly, in Saudi Arabia. Okay? They're going to show us something special. Very good people. Everywhere we can, my administration is pursuing peaceful engagement, offering a strong and steady hand of friendship to all that will take it in good faith. Together, we have made unprecedented strides and tremendous progress, and we're still just at the dawn of the bright new day that awaits for the people of the Middle East, the great, great people of the Middle East. If the responsible nations of this region seize this moment, put aside your differences and focus on the interests that unite you, then all of humanity will soon be amazed at what they will see right here in this geographic center of the world. It really is. It's like a center of the world and the spiritual heart of its greatest faiths. For the first time in 1,000 years, the world will look at this region not as a place of turmoil and strife and war and death, but as a land of opportunity and hope, just like you've done right here, a cultural and commercial crossroads.
All right, so that was pretty cool. Saudi Arabia, they got some money. They got some money for sure. So that should bring gas prices down, right? Danny Gibson says, dude, I just passed a small airport in Southern California, made me wonder. Did you see a red Corvette out there on the runway? I'm just kidding. The Corvette's not in the runway. It's in the garage. That's funny. Cali gas is going to $8. What makes you say that? Shaz, how you doing? Good evening. See no windless plane? I don't know. I'm not going to give out too much information where I'm at. But I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. Wingless plane. Probably not it. All the planes out here have wings on them. It's more of like a fueling place. It's a gas station. There's only 2 working refineries on NorCal, the other in SoCal. Yeah, but we don't get all of our fuel from one refinery. A lot of fuel gets trucked in. I mean, I could see gas going up, but I mean, right now gas isn't too bad. I think I paid like $3.40 something, and then it went back up to like $4.45-ish. Which is kind of what it's been at. And that's because of like the whole tariff thing. They'll use any excuse to gouge prices out here in California. I'll tell you that much. Spent all day doing yard work. Wow. Good for you, though. It's good for you. Keep you young. Super here is $3.35. Yeah, the cheapest stuff out here is like $4.45 to $4.25, depending. Costco gas is sometimes cheaper, sometimes it's a little more, but it's better gas. I buy Costco gas. But I have to drive like an hour just to get to Costco. But I gotta drive. It's like 30 minutes to an hour drive just to anything out here. We're in the middle of freaking nowhere. All right, let's see here. We got a couple more articles. I might speed through some of this stuff. I'm in a lot of pain tonight, so I might call it a little bit early for the show. Analyst unveils shocking Fed interest rate cut prediction. The Federal Reserve is tasked with a tough job. It has to balance a dual mandate target low inflation and unemployment, too often competing goals that are particularly at odds in 2025. We've seen unemployment and layoffs, and inflation progress has stalled recently. The product of tariff fueling inflation later this year leaves the Federal Reserve in an impossible situation. Cut rates and risk runaway inflation, or increase rates and risk sending the economy into recession. That's why I feel like most of these rate cuts are not coming. We're probably just going to keep rates where they're at. So, and we talked about that more about that earlier, but yeah, also there's the uncertainty with the tariffs. They're just kind of playing the waiting game to see how it pans out, because we haven't gotten the full effect of the tariffs yet. It's going to take time. And then this was put on my desk today. This is from the government website, from Congress of the United States House of Representatives Committee on Energy and Commerce. So I'm not going to read all the stuff that's in here. So like this one's energy recession to relating to certain Inflation Reduction Act programs, state-based energy efficiency trading grants, funding for Department of Energy Loan Program Office, advanced technology, vehicle manufacturing, energy infrastructure, reinvestment financing, transmission facility financing, grants to facilitate the sitting of interstate electricity transmission lines, yada yada yada. All this stuff, right? This is a bill that was introduced. It looks like Brett Guthrie from Kentucky, Frank Pallone Jr. from New Jersey. So this is a bill that's been introduced, right? But and there's a lot of good things in here. There's a lot of good things in here. Funding, carbon dioxide, oil, and hydrogen pipeline permitting, right? A lot of good things in here. But there's one thing to take away from here. Repeal and rescission relating to grants on greenhouse gases. Repeal and rescission relating to funding of air pollution at schools and all these different repeals and things, right? But down here, this I found very interesting, and so did the staff, and they brought it to my attention, and I was like, we got to talk about this. Section 43201, okay, Part 2, Artificial Intelligence and Information Technology Modernization. subsection would appropriate $500 million to the Department of Commerce for the fiscal year of 2025 to remain available through September 30th of 2035 for the proposed modernizing and securing federal information technology systems through the development of commercial artificial intelligence, automation technologies, and replacement of antiquated business systems. All right. Artificial intelligence systems and automated decisions and models that increase operational efficiency and service delivery and improve the cybersecurity posture of federal information technology systems through modernized architecture, automated threat detection, and integrated artificial intelligence solutions, subsections that no state or political subdivision may enforce any law or regulation regulating artificial intelligence models. Holy crap. This bill, all right, they hid this right here at the end. This bill, if it goes into place, that means that they can put no regulation on artificial intelligence. That is terrifying. Have you all seen iRobot? Have you not seen Age of Ultron? Come on. Have you not seen The Terminator? Please, for the love of God, don't let this thing pass or have this repealed from this act. This is terrifying. This is so terrifying. AI. Okay? States that no state or political subdivision may enforce any law or regulation regulating artificial intelligence models, artificial intelligence systems, or automated decision systems during the 10-year period beginning on the date of the enactment of this act. That is so scary. I do not like this at all. Okay, you can put all that other stuff, great, whatever, looks good. They always sneak something like this in here. They're always sneaking something in these bills. This is why we can't have these omnibus bills and these blanketed bills like this. They need to be individual. And I get it. Oh, they're going to actually have to do their job where they have to like actually vote on each individual issue. What? Like, isn't that what their job is to do? They'd actually have to show up for work and vote on things. Oh my goodness. Congress actually do their job? What? This is crazy. Artificial intelligence having zero regulation on it is the most terrifying thing I've ever seen. Our show normally doesn't cover this stuff, but people need to know this. This is not good. This is scary, man. I don't want to be all doom and gloom all the time, but holy cow. You cannot have AI run amok like that. You cannot allow companies to develop AI with zero restriction. It's what's the word I'm looking for? It is reckless. Reckless. We've already seen videos of like AIs, like robots attacking people and all kinds of different things. That is a scary thing to consider. And, you know, just keep that in mind. I'm gonna go back up here to what this is so you guys know what it is. So this is the 119th Congress of the United States House of Representatives Committee on Energy and Commerce 2125. All right, let me zoom in on it so you guys can go research it yourself. The internet is a beautiful thing. Look at how, and look at, it's all the way down here, all the way at the end here. Right here, right at the end. Where did it go? I gotta zoom out a little bit. I'm zoomed in too much. Artificial intelligence. Part 2, Artificial Intelligence and from Information Technology Modernization, Section 43201. That is the fact that, I get it. Okay, you want to send $500 million to the Department of Commerce for 2025 to 2035 to work on AI technology. Great. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, develop some AI. I could use a chatbot that could actually create decent memes. That would be great. Instead, I have to do it all myself. But having them being with no restriction, that's crazy. I'm going to read it one more time. Subsection C states that no state or political subdivision may enforce any law or regulation regulating artificial intelligence models, artificial intelligence systems, or automated decision systems during the 10-year period beginning the date of the enforcement of this act. That is terrifying. Sure, give money to build AI, but have some kind of regulation. There has to be some voice of reason here. We cannot allow AI to have full access to the internet. We cannot have AI have full access to the world's data. We cannot have AI have access to so many things. This is a problem. All right. That pretty much wraps it up for the show today. I'm going to call it a little bit of an early night. I'm in a lot of pain. And we're just going to have to wait and see what happens here. Let me plot this out one more time here. So we're in this channel now. So we break out and we use this channel as support. We're going to the moon. If we kind of just stay between here, we're looking at dropping off. But we need to break out of this channel in order for it to be a moon trip. Gave you a lot of likes, man. Thank you. Much appreciated. We're at 12K likes. Thank you so much, Simon. And all of you who smashed that like button. Have a good night. For those of you, Giddy Marie, have a good night. It's been a long day today. I could use a little bit of a break. So I'm going to take this time to just rest a little bit. Oh, TikTok wants me to prove I'm still live. I've been live so long. They're like, hey, we don't believe you. And yeah, I think that's it. All right, have a good night. Don't let AI take over your life. forget, we are supported by your donations. So don't forget to send a donation. You can click the link there below, or you can get the Cash App or Venmo. That's at OZZY12233504. Yeah, this is some original music that I was able to get for the show that's not copyrighted, that I can legally use. But it's decent. I like it.